Hey everyone and welcome back to Haste Kitchen. Today's one for Valentine's Day. I'm going to try and do a recipe, a starter and a main for all the people out there that can't particularly cook very well. I've got this idea from, I've got a couple of friends that ring me a week before Valentine's every year without fail, saying, Hasty, can you please come up with a recipe for me because I don't know how to cook, but I've got to really get this prepared really quickly, I've got to impress my girlfriend. So I thought, well, why don't I just do a video on this to make it really, really simple, show you how to cook a really good starter, really good main, and make it really, really nicely presented, because that's the key with this one. So all the ingredients I've got today are going to be just literally from your local shop or your local farm, whichever you choose to use. Not high-end, top-end products, just really, really easy to get and not particularly going to break the bank as well. For starter, we're going to be doing some Balsamic Glaze Stilton tomatoes. We're going to do that with a little bit of gluten-free bread, just going to toast it off with a little bit of garlic. We've got some strong cheese, we've got some chorizo just to pull apart and to eat with the rest of this. We've got some olives with feta, some basil leaves, and for main we're going to do a beautiful tenderloin of pork, so a fillet of pork. We're going to open that up and fill that with an apple and sage stuffing, wrap that up, wrap it up in bacon, into the oven. We'll serve that up with crusty roast potatoes and some buttered smoky cabbage. So let's get cooking. First of all, we're going to get started with our tomatoes. This is quite a messy job, this one, so we will be needing a bowl and a decent sharp knife, something about that big, not so big. Grab yourself a tomato, pop your knife inside and just literally spin that round. It's going to be messy, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be covered with a basil leaf, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's all about the flavour with this one. So open a hole like that, we're going to take a little piece of our cheese, and all you're going to do is a little bit of cheese, stuff that into the centre, like that. Grab yourself a basil leaf, Balsamic Glaze. Now this is basically thickened balsamic vinegar. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit more syrupy. Just pop it inside your basil leaf, little dollop like that. You take your cherry tomato and just roll it over and just pull up the sides. That goes into your mouth in one go. So good. Make these. So once you've got yourself 3, 4, 5 of those, you've got your olives, you're just going to get your gluten-free toast and straight into the toaster. Told you this was simple, but it's going to start to look really, really good. We're going to get some of our chorizo, just literally just pull that apart, lay it onto the plate. Do that however you wish, however messy you want it to be. Just pile it up, and you can just take a piece of that, one of the balsamic tomatoes, a couple of olives, a little bit of that feta. You've got that strong cheese going through with the chorizo. Once that's toasted, there's a little trick here to get a little bit of flavour into this. So, if you watch one of my videos, so the second part of this is going to be where I show you how to do your pork fillet. When you do that, just chuck in some cloves of garlic, roast them off, and then grab your toast and just literally rub that over the top, just so it leaves a little bit of residue behind. Not too much, you don't want too much strong flavour in there. Tiny bit of butter, just over the top of that, literally a minuscule amount. And there we have it. 2-minute serving platter, starter done. Looks really cool, looks really tasty. They are going to be amazing. And then we can just get on with our main. Prepare that in advance, pop your garlic bread, and you've got loads of time then to cook your main. So simple ingredients for this dish. We've got some sage, fresh sage. You don't have to get that if you can't get hold of it. We're just going to use a normal, everyday packet sage and onion stuffing. We've got some little pea shoots there again. We've got a fresh apple, because pork loves apple. We've got a little bit of rosemary. We're going to use that just to dress the plate. So if you can get some fresh rosemary, it always just looks nice. As I said to everyone, when you're serving this up, it's all about how you present it. It's not a hard dish to do at all, but it will look great, it will taste amazing. We've got some pork tenderloin. So essentially that's a pork fillet. It sounds really expensive. If you think of fillet of beef being really expensive, fillet of pork, not expensive at all. Really, really cheap. So get yourself a whole one of those if you can. And we just got some streaky back, dry cured bacon there. First thing we're going to do is just make sure that meat itself is trimmed off as much of the little fatty, gristly pieces as you can. Now the same principle as when you're going to butterfly chicken breast. You're going to put your hand over the top, lay your knife through, and you're just going to cut as far, leaving about that much towards the end. Cut through, all the way down the middle, and now we can start adding our loveliness to this. So we're going to go in with a little bit of stuffing and our apple. Thinly slice your apple. I'm literally going to leave that like that, skin on, because that's just going to sweat down anyway and go into the meat. Layer them all the way down the centre. And what you're looking for is when you cut this open, you're going to have perfect little circles, and you're going to have those lovely little bits of your stuffing coming through as well. Done? A little bit of your stuffing. Excuse the hands on this, I don't mind getting a little bit messy. What we're going to do is stuff that straight down the middle. Keep that as central as possible. And I'm going to put a small amount of sage, just like that, just down this side. Fold that over as tight as you can. Really, really tight. And you get your bacon, you want to go fat end to thin end. So you can see there, fat to thin, fat to thin. It's like a yin and yang if you look at the bacon itself. So that goes into that little slot, push it together. And again, this one can go straight into that little slot and push it together. Right, one more piece at the end here. Lock them all together perfectly. Now we're going to go in with the meat itself. Push that down nice and hard, starting at one end, just take it one piece of the bacon, put it right over the top, and the other one just folds over again. Like so. So you're almost like plaiting it if you like. Back over again, and again. Don't worry about this bacon being quite fatty first of all, because once this actual fat renders down, and then we're going to crisp that off by taking it out of the foil afterwards, just to give that final crisp up. And there we have it. You've got your perfect rolled joint of meat. Now that can be transferred across just to a sheet of foil. Now what I'm going to do is fold that over the top, tuck it in nice and tight. You're going to roll that all the way down and twisting opposite ways. That can go straight in the oven as it is on a pan. Right, so we're going to leave that in about 35-40 minutes. If you want to click here, please. It shows you how to do the lovely crispy roast potato, which is going to be perfect, a compliment for this meal. There'll be a gravy on there as well. And also, if you want to put in there a little bit of steamed veg, I'm going to be doing some Savoy cabbage today. Click here, it shows you how to do all of those things. See you in 35. Let's get that out of the oven. So this is pretty much cooked anyway. All we want to do is brown this off now and give it a slight sort of crisp to it. So what we're going to do is take both ends. This is going to be very hot. I've got really quite strong hands, so it's not too bad for me. But I generally release that down the middle, like that, and then pull off both ends. You've got your perfect bit of meat. Let all those juices go around the meat. Now all that juice is going to burn off quite quickly, so I'm going to add a little element of champagne or Prosecco or white wine, whichever you want to use. Pour some of that around the tray. That helps to keep the meat really, really moist. Although you're not going to use any of that, it's just going to keep it nice and moist. It's going to give it a little bit of a winey flavour going through there. If you don't want to use that, just use a little bit of water or a little bit of stock. You're more than welcome. You can see the bubbles are going to come through there. It's going to sweat off and caramelise. I'm going to get that lovely crisp layer over the top. So top of the oven again. I'm going to put that in for about another 15 minutes. Right, serve this one up. So there we have it. Perfect rolled tenderloin with our crispy bacon. You want your knife to be really, really sharp for this because you want to be able to cut through that really, really cleanly and easily. You take a little section from the middle and you can see there, got your beautiful stuffing and apple going through the middle. So 3 good slices. And we'll start dressing our plate. So I'm going to take 3 of these, 1 of these in the middle, or side, like that. We're going to go in with a little bit of rose just to make it look nice. We've got a little bit of sage as well, which is going to pop to the sides. And a little bit of rosemary just to decorate it. As I say, this is all about making the plate look really, really nice and pretty. Got our red wine gravy, and all we're doing is just put that into a little glass like that. Then we're going to serve that up with our sides. So veggies into one. And finally, we've got some of our garlic roast potatoes. Just put some rosemary in there and some whole garlic cloves just to make that look nice. Make them all go in. Really, really crispy. Perfect tenderloin of pork stuffed with apple and stuffing. We've got a little bit of red wine gravy. We've got our steamed carrots with butter and Savoy cabbage. Our roasted potatoes. Perfect for Valentine's Day. The only way to serve that is just a little bit of champagne. And there we go. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Hopefully you can recreate this one nice and easy. Really, really simple, as I say, ingredients. If you recreate this one, hashtag Haste Kitchen as always, www.hastekitchen.co.uk for my blog and updates regularly. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Tell everyone about the channel, please. Get them to subscribe. I think I've just turned 35,000 subscribers, which is insane. Let's get to 40,000 quickly, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye-bye. So on the back of that, I thought we'd do for the new year a really, really healthy, clean, vibrant tom yum soup. So king prawn tom yum soup with a hot and sour sauce with